welcome to the Computer Security Seminar. Today's speaker is Richard Power. He will speak on starting over after a lost decade in search of a bold new vision for cyber security. Richard.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm always very happy to be at CERIAS. This is my third visit, my second talk. And actually, this talk is a continuation of the last one. So if you go into the archives, if you're at all interested after this hour, God bless you if you are, you could see some kind of context, some kind of continuity between that talk and this talk. And that talk was kind of based on the theme of a 10-year retrospective from 2006 to 1996. And everything that had happened and hadn't happened in cybersecurity, and the question around which that talk was framed was one step forward, two steps back, or two steps forward, one step back. And this talk is kind of taking it from a different look. It will be looking at it from, say, 1999 to 2009. And so I say the lost decade because, well, I'll get into it in a minute. Basically what we're going to do is go through 50 slides. We're not going to touch, we're just going to pass over most of them, but I want to give them to you so that you have them for your own reference and your own, if you want to go into things in a more granular way, or if you have any questions or comments or things you want to talk to me about, follow up, please. I encourage you to, but you'll have the whole thing, and it goes into various areas. You could drill down into it. It's something that I have been giving for a long time, first with CSI when I worked for the Computer Security Institute, and then with Deloitte when I worked for Deloitte, and now I give it in my work for Carnegie Mellon Scilab, and I update it quarterly, and so the facts and the data change, and also the issues kind of evolve, and some issues go away or become less important or more important over time. And this talk, we're going to touch upon 3 or 4 that I think are very big, and they have nothing to do with bits or bytes. They have nothing to do with any of our particular technologies that we're developing or trying to implement. They have more to do really with human nature and human culture, economy and politics, and where we're going as a civilization, really, and what role we as people interested in cybersecurity and cyber risk have in all of that. So I'm going to skip my bio, because if you're at all interested, you can look it up. And this is a statement, just a brief statement about Carnegie Mellon Scilab, and it's just wonderful to have an association with CERIAS through SPAF, and to also be working for Scilab, because there is nothing more important, and this is one of the few conclusions that I reached a long time ago that has never changed. Academic research into cybersecurity is one of the most important things that we can be doing, most important things that we can be funding, most important things that we can be explaining to people and developing. It's really, really important that research be done, not driven totally by commercial interests. I mean, of course, that's involved in everything we do, but it's vital that cyber security research, cyber risk research be done in a context other than the commercial nature, whether it's by technology companies or by people, Beltway bandits and others providing consulting services or other kinds of services. This is just a picture of the research thrusts that we have in our program. Okay, so I always start with this this quote from Chief Seattle, 1854. Since we're going to discuss cybersecurity, let's quote a great war chief of the indigenous peoples of America from 1854. Actually, he was a great peace chief. And in his letter to, he wrote an extraordinary letter to the President of the United States, which was, this is actually a rendering of the content of that letter. It's not a literal translation. The literal translation was done by an army doctor who happened to be in the room at the time. And so it's not we don't have a literal, a very substantive translation of the essence of what he said, but it's that all things are connected. And that man did not weave the web of life, he's merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself. And as the World Wide Web dawned on us in the 90s, I remembered this quote by Chief Seattle, and I realized that, the oneness of life was about to take, there was about to be another twist in the plot. Because not only were we all connected through the world in which we live and our own biology and our own collective unconscious and everything else, but we were also going to be connected in this new profound way through cyberspace. So I always start here. And people talk about when the first time the astronauts saw the Earth from outer space and the profound effect it had on them, and really the profound effect it had on us as a species to actually see our world for the first time from outer space. And these are some of the quotes of astronauts who have had that experience. And then I always juxtapose that with this picture. Has anybody ever seen this before? You've probably seen it, right? It's Cheswick. It's from Lumeta. It's the mapping of the internet in I think it's about 2002 or something. Yeah, 2001. And Ches said that I could use this image. This is the internet rendered visually. And if you drill down in any one of those points, it's a network of network of network. It's like now when they look out into the Hubble, when they look out through the Hubble and they see little dots of light, the little dots of light they're seeing are, billions, literally, of galaxies. One dot of light is like a billion galaxies. It's just a different way of approaching our subject matter, putting it in a context that we don't get to feel it and ruminate about it in. And just a couple of data points from outside of the cyber risk timeline, the things that happened in the 90s through that whole decade that kind of shaped our world, shaped the world of the global economy and the multilateral world that we finally stumbled into in the last year. And these are profound changes. And they also coincided with the World Wide Web linking us together in a vast virtual network. The introduction of the euro, the GATT, NAFTA, the Asian economic crisis was the first time we realized, that when the dominoes start falling in one part of the world, it's going to impact economies across the face of the earth. The collapse of the Soviet Union and other things. And also, last time I was here, I could remind you that radio took 38 years to reach 50 million people, and TV took 13 years to reach 50 million people, and the World Wide Web took 4 years to reach 50 million people, but iPod only took 3 years to reach 50 million people. And Facebook took 2 years to reach 50 million people. Yes?
Do you think that's because of the population of the Earth is increasing?
No, but it's a very good point. I think it could certainly be a factor, but I think that there's something else going on in terms of the acceleration of our entry into the information age, what Toffler talked about as the third wave.
Well,
Yeah, please.
well, look at